gang, I know it's been a while since we've done a video, but I've got something that I really want to talk about here. And we're going to talk a little bit about the new naming convention that Futaba is coming up with their servos. You can see I've got a variety of them down here. I've got kind of missing tag areas. Let's get into that right after this. Hey there, what I'm interested in talking about today is the new servo naming convention that Futaba has come up with. And I've been looking at some of these servos thinking, what am I supposed to use? And particularly in RC boating, the stuff we love. Let's take a look at a few of these and let's see if we can get an introduction to these. Hang tight. All right, here we go. They have what is a universal line, aircraft, and car. Now, they really don't talk much about helicopter servos, unless there are helicopter servos. They go way kind of over the edge as far as pricing and stuff. But this is just kind of for us boaters to get an idea of what's going on with this. Let's get back to this. This is their SU Universal 300. Let's get a few specs off this fella right here. You can see here, it's 4.8 to 6 volts, 44 ounces force and 56 ounces force. The speed 2319 respectively. All right, it's a standard. It's their standard servo. Plastic gears, you get it. The 301 27.99. Let's take a look. Look at this, 6.6 to 7.4 volts, 48 to 54. Not a lot of power difference, but it's basically a high voltage standard servo plastic gears. I'm missing the 305 48.99, so we'll just get past that, but I'm just kind of showing you the line. This is the U306 Universal 306. It's 6 volt to 4.8 volts. Actually, this is a replacement for the 3305. So for $57.99 you can get a updated version loosely of the 3305. It is analog. It is not S-Bus. 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 Okay? Here, Universal Servo. The U400, $36.99. Let's take a peek. 6.6 to 7.4. Ooh, 98.6 to 109.7 respectively. Not too shabby. You know what we need to find out? I think this is still plastic gear. We'll look at that a little bit closer here in a minute. So basically this is kind of their universal line, and you can see that it's geared towards cost-effective versions of S-Bus servos, except for this guy. He is a replacement for the 3305, which the 3305, I mean, I know a lot of people that use that servo. I've used it in the past. I've liked it. Back when I was using and more accustomed to lower voltage servos, I'm getting away from those and everything. I'm putting only high voltage servos and everything. I run life packs and mostly, and some lipos in some of my equipment. So no more low voltage servos for me. So I'm on an effort to get all my stuff updated to high voltage. Let's go to the air side. This pretty much starts out at this price, $85.99. What do we get? Well, we get 6.6 to 7.4 volts, 138 and 152 respectively. So this is their slower 1917 speeds, and it is a metal gear servo, $85.99. Actually, that's a bit of a beast for the money. How about this fella right here? This is the 301. Interestingly enough, 300 Universal, 301 Universal, 1427. When we get to the aircraft versions, we get metal gears, tons of power, but it still kind of follows that same convention. A300, A301. So I think that's kind of an oddity. Something you've got to kind of look past. You really can't rely on the 301 to be matching with the universal. It's just not the same. It is an entirely different servo. So what do we got for specs on this thing? It's a pretty good little servo. Again, high voltage, 14 to 13, 118, 125. Now, that's a pretty nice servo. It's a little bit faster than we'd need for model boating, so this seems a better choice. Now, their servos, they got a hole here, they've got a hole here, then they go to the A400, A501, and A600, and it kind of continues. I'm just giving you an idea. So anyway, and then when we get to the car servos, they really don't start until we start getting up into price. There's no real reason to have for the most part, a micro, for the most part, unless you're racing 12 scale or 1/18th or something, to have a ultra high powered or speed miniature servo. But they do offer this CM600. Now I use this on my throttle and mix on some of my boats, and I really like this servo. Here it is. It's reasonably small, and its rating is its speed at 7.4 is 0.090 60 degrees. The power, 93 ounces force at 7 point. So you could see, you could put that in a variety of things. You could probably use that on a rudder of a 20 hydro all day long, metal gears. It's a little beast, right? It's not cheap, but it's tiny and it's powerful. So after I go through this exercise, I'm like, am I still confused? Well, they actually go ahead and try to guide people through the use of universal, air, car to help them make selections. I find that a little confusing myself. So what I'm doing is I'm just going through saying, well, what do we really have under this new naming convention? And I found some confusion here. And we know that this is a replacement for the 3305. If it was me and I was putting together a new Sport 40, again, I don't typically run mixture control. I have one boat, my 20 hydro with a CM600s in it, one for throttle, one for, and I really don't use it that much. That's just not me. So okay, but a lot of guys are. So we need to fill a hole there, right? Get servos that are affordable and performance-minded, hold up well. However, if I was building a Sport 40 today, just today, I would pick this servo. Actually, if I was building a 7.5 hydro, probably do the same thing. I'd pick this servo up for my throttle, 6.6 to 7.4 volts. And I'd pick this servo up for my steering. And that's, again, high voltage, 1917. We don't need that much speed, 138, 152. We got plenty of power, 138 at 6.6. If I was purchasing servos for a new Sport 40 today, that's the route I would go. Or 40 hydro. Again, 20 hydro, we're trying to save some weight. Sport 20, yeah, probably still trying to save some weight. I have some other options that I use for that under the old naming convention. Some are new. But so it's just kind of an introduction into what is this naming convention all about? Universal, air, car, and you can find some servos, the HPS 700 series for helicopters and stuff. I have some of those in my helis. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Really expensive. Would I use them in a boat? No, I wouldn't need to. I wouldn't. I don't need that kind of speed, honestly, in a boat. Actually, I don't like that kind of speed in a boat. So my choices would be the S Universal 301 and the SA Aircraft 300 if I was setting up a boat. That's the route I'd go. We might have to throw those in my Sport 40. Why not? Right now I have low voltage servos in the boat and I run a regulator. I'd like to get those out, just put those in. Maybe that's what I'll do. Alright, well, that's really all I have to talk about today. Just an introduction to the naming convention. It is changing. The goal is to make it a little simpler, but look closely. Specs will matter. And you know, I forgot. Let's go ahead and let's see if this, the U400 has metal gears in it. Let's take a peek. Hang tight. Well, we're back. It does not. The SU400, Universal 400, a plastic gear servo. Again, let's jump on the specs. 6.6, 7.4. It's fast. 1413, 98, 109. It's pretty quick. Plastic gears. So for steering for us, even though the power is not too bad, I just wouldn't choose it. And I don't need that much speed for throttle. So again, I'm back to the 301 and a 300A. A300. Hey, there you go. Well, if you've got any questions, I'm going to try to go get some more, ask some more questions to Futaba and see where are we going with these servos. Let's talk a little bit about it with the Futaba guys and get a better understanding. And that's the information that I've gathered so far from them. And again, the performance of the servos, the high voltage aspect of these servos, look closely at the specs. That's where I'm going with all my stuff, just to make it easy. And it looks like for, I don't know, 28 bucks for a really, I mean, the servo high voltage, it's going to perform well. You'll have it in the boat for the life of the boat. Same with the A300. You put that in a boat, you put that through 3 boats before you'd have to replace it. So quality's there. That's the key. All right, thanks for joining me. Grimracer Trophy Hunter series. I'm glad you followed along today. Make sure to like and subscribe.